All right. I am tripping. Okay, good. Make sure over here everything is perfect. Sounds good. Looks good. Cool. Let me send this out to everybody, then we'll get started shortly, guys. Where is... Let me just get it from right here. Okay. And then I'm sending this out to... Okay. Let me just send this out to everybody. And then we'll go ahead and get started, guys. You know, if I didn't take a shower right before this would all be done. It is what it is. All right. Gonna go ahead and start recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everybody. You know why I'm here. Thank you for checking out another one of my weekly Forex and cryptocurrency analysis. It's your boy ABK, and thank you for being here, right? Happy holidays, both out in the UK and also in the States, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's holiday weekend, so I hope everybody's been able to enjoy that. Still gonna go over these charts because you know what to do. All right, so let's go ahead and look over some fundamental analysis. You know, guys know how I do. I just like looking at the high impact news to see if there's anything that could be possibly can be explained any type of all of a sudden volatility. I'm not a fundamental analysis trader by any means. I just like looking at when there's news events. So Monday, 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, in a couple hours is going to be RBA rate statements for the Australian dollar. Tuesday, June 1st, is going to be OPEC JMMC meetings. This is for oil. So if you are an oil trader, you want to watch that. If I'm not mistaken, this is for oil. USD news, 9 a.m. Manufacturing PMI. We have GP news, 10 a.m. early. Governor Bailey speaks in 8:30 p.m. Australian dollar news with the GDP. Wednesday, no news. Thursday, we have PMI for the US dollar at 9 a.m. And Friday, at 6 a.m., we have Fed Chairman Powell speaks. And we also have Canadian news and US dollar news all on Friday. And then, of course, it's NFP and unemployment rates. So Friday, NFP. It's NFP week. So you guys want to be careful. Oh, excuse me. You guys want to be careful with trading this week, because what could definitely can definitely happen, and it happens more times than not, right? Is that the US dollar would be moving very sporadically during the week, and then when NFP news gets released, nothing really happens. So you definitely want to watch out. You definitely want to make sure that that you just be careful. You're not on Friday or throughout the week that any ridiculous moves that happen, you would kind of understand why that's happening. So let's go ahead and go on to these charts. There we go. All right. And I'm going to actually draw up some fresh charts for everything. I want to see everything on a monthly point of view first, because there's not going to be analysis tomorrow, and I don't want to look at the monthly news while I do my intraday analysis on Tuesday. So I'm just going to do it now, and depending on if there's any big moves or major changes on the monthly, then I'll look at them on Tuesday. But as for other than that, not really going to be doing that. So I'm just going to go ahead, like I said, going to do fresh drawings and everything. I'm not going to care about last week. So right now, I see that previous month we had a very bearish month on the dollar, and then this month we had a bearish month as well. But I still do like this retracement that price is doing, and it still hasn't broken through this zone right here, because we can obviously see that there is a huge zone. Let me make this even lower. There is a zone right here that price has been respecting. It's respected at 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months right here. Now, if price breaks through this, then I definitely do expect that we will be coming down probably to the likes of 88.277. However, we all know that realistically speaking, overall, that the DXY is in a downtrend. So that's on the there's just not to down the US dollar or anything like that, but it's just been depreciating over time, and it's continued to depreciate. On the weekly time frame, on the 50 EMA, we can see that price literally came up and bounced off of the 50 EMA and then dropped down. This could be a double bottom on the weekly time frame, but I don't like to count on that, or I don't want to count on that. I'd rather want to see better confirmations telling me that that's going to happen. But on the weekly time frame, we can see that there's a doji candle that popped up. So there's nothing necessarily terribly bad about this, because now we could probably see some type of indecision in the market. Maybe. I even like the previous week where this isn't a hammer, but I like the wick that price dropped to, that price put to the bottom or to the downside. So I'm really waiting to see if the DXY is really gonna pop from here, because overall, if I'm talking about swing wise, from when price broke through this structure, because this was really the little zone that I was waiting for to see if price was going to break through. Once price broke through this structure, I was like, okay, the DXY could potentially be turning around here since it's broken the previous bear structure. But I still, with price being this low, I'm still kind of cautious about it, and I still do think that it can go bullish, because it is still hanging around in my swing buy area. Because let me move this so that it's not disturbing where price is currently at. Right, so price is currently just respecting my buy area for this swing overall on the weekly time frame, and it's still in this area. Usually, way how I play it, if price comes all the way down here, that doesn't necessarily mean that this is still wrong. Price would have to make 100% retracement for me to start to think that, okay, this is definitely wrong. So in theory, or based off of how I trade, let's say for instance, if I were to just get into a trade over here at the 78.6, if you could trade the DXY, something like that, I would still be in the trade after all these days, and after a week or two, I would still be in this trade, because it still hasn't done 100% retracement from this low to this high. Right? So I'm still confident that the DXY can push to the upside, but this daily candle is what got me tripping right now. I don't like how price pushed to the upside and then it came right back down the same exact day. So if I see a bullish engulfing candle, or if I see this this candle is bearish and it engulfs this candle as like, well, like if it just gives a bearish candle that I'm not really caring for, then I'm gonna probably say that okay, DXY is gonna continue to the downside. Because over here is where I had already started thinking that the DXY is gonna push down when it did this evening star, bullish candle, doji, then a bearish engulfing candle engulfing this doji candle. That was my first instinct saying me that price was gonna drop, right? Then if I go to the 4-hour time frame, and then if I'm getting from this high all the way to this low, look where price came to hit to 61.8 and then rejected off of it hard. I do not like this 4-hour candle right here. So if I start to see this 4-hour time frame breaking this 50 EMA, then that's gonna make me be like, all right, man, I'm just gonna leave DXY alone some more until I figure out what it's really about to do. Like, cause it's just really interesting to me how it really came up to the 61.8 and then rejected it so hard. I'm actually just seeing this right now, so it's like, wow. So yeah, me, as for right now, what I want to see, what I would personally love to see, although it's kind of already happened and it's kind of just weird now, is if I want to play this, is that I really wanted, okay, I like this double bottom that price did down here on the 30-minute time frame or 15-minute or lower time frame, whatever you want to call it. I like this double bottom that price made right here and pushed to the upside, but then it consolidated and pushed higher. I kind of would want it to come down and to retest, or not even retest, but let me just draw a fib from this low to this high, although I'm pretty sure it's not going to play out. If it does, I'd rather price come down to like 89.830 or something for price to continue pushing to the upside. But like I mentioned, it didn't do that, and I'm really shook about this, guys. Like, I really do not know if the DXY is gonna go bullish or not. So I'm gonna have to wait and see. Maybe, like I said, oh, hold on, why did I delete that? Maybe price is gonna come down over here, 89.830, then push to the upside. Who knows? I'm gonna actually set an alert there just in case. If it does, then I'll be like, okay, this is probably gonna be the last time I try to buy anything dollar related until I get really, really good confirmations. So I'm gonna add an alert. Okay, crossing at 89.832 on the DXY. So I don't really like this consolidation that it did, because what price could literally be doing right here, right now is, and this is probably, like I said, this is probably what's going to happen. Maybe, not too sure. But again, I do not like that daily candle. I hate it. But what could definitely possibly happen is from this bullish impulse, price push to the upside, retesting 61.8 fib right here. If it does indeed hold over this zone, like I'm just going to draw it out, but I'm not going to have the fib there. I'm just going to draw this out. If price does indeed hold here, then yes, I could definitely see price making a higher high and reaching the likes of 90.700 by tomorrow. So we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to have my alert there. But again, I do not like how from this bearish push, price rejected, and on a Friday it like counterreacted like that. You feel me? Not really feeling it. So with that being said, gonna have to just, again, be patient with it. If price comes down here, 89.832, I'll look for the possibility more than right here. As of right now, I don't want to try to get into anything here. I'd rather just wait for the push to the downside first. Let's go on over to arbitrage. My edge. Let's go on the monthly time frame real quick. So monthly time frame, DXY has been called for a sell like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Still holding at this zone like I had mentioned on the other chart. So I'm not really gonna care too much about the monthly time frame or the weekly, because I'm pretty sure the weekly is very much bearish. I remember when I was trying to call a buy right here, but I called it too early. So weekly time frame, again, it might be setting up, but it's not ready at all. So the weekly time frame isn't ready on arbitrage. Daily time frame, it could be setting up. This looks more ready than the weekly. And hey, who knows? Maybe what this is something that price is just gonna have to go and fill up this wick. And if price goes and fills up this wick, then I definitely think that price is gonna go bullish. So let's see what happens with that. 4-hour time frame bullish. According it take profit basically if I were to try to get into a buy right here. But I'm still liking the buys on the 4-hour. 1-hour time frame. It looks like it wants to call for a sell, but again, I'm just staying away from the DXY. And if it comes down to 89.832, then I would look for any type of candlestick patterns, maybe on the lower time frame, maybe on the higher time frames, to get into a long position on the DXY. So that is for DXY. Gonna leave that on blue. It's going over to Euro USD. I'm gonna have to have these syncing. Hold on. Symbol. There we go. Okay. So this was a trade that I had tried and I failed, but that was just me personally. I was like, I could try it again later. All right. So this was what I had wanted on from last week. Didn't get the retracement, but price did the stop plant. If those who were selling right here, I feel sorry for y'all. Well, not really sorry, but I know the feeling. Price pushing to the upside, then falling back down. So, EU is literally just the opposite of. Is literally just the opposite of what I'm looking at on the DXY. Monthly time frame. Don't really care to see these bullish candles like this. I would really want to see some type of retracement on the monthly time frame with Euro USD, but I mean, that's just me personally. It's holding at the zone where it previously, well, this is really the zone, but nothing's really came back up to touch here yet. So until that happens, I'm gonna have to have this outlined, but I wouldn't mind having, no, you know what? I'm gonna put this here instead. That is there we go. So overall, I'm really trying to still see if, again, weekly time frame, if I drop the fib, technically speaking, this is still very much in my swing. Not even technically speaking, it is in my swing sell area. Not even a swing, because this is on the weekly, so this is probably like a position type area where I'm looking for a price to sell at. And it's been rejecting off of the 78.6 twice on the weekly time frame. I like the weekly candle, how it looks. It's not necessarily telling me that price does want to continue going bullish, but then again, when I go onto the daily time frame, I am not impressed with this candle right here. But there isn't really much volume with this candle regardless, so seeing a push to the upside is very unlikely to me. I don't think that we will, but the possibility of it doing so, it does exist, right? So 4-hour time frame, I don't like seeing this. This is basically tweezer tops, but it's not tweezer tops. It's just a bullish engulfing candle after a bearish Moribosa candle. And again, overall, this could be what's happening right here, where from this high to this low, price is still in the area where it could be selling off from. So it can price can definitely sell from here. I'm not taking this away. So sell box, boom. If you guys want to try to take it, absolutely. Your stop loss would have to be at around 1.22180 for my standards personally. But that's just, I'm going to leave that there. But overall, again, from this high, from when the price was at this high, then it made a low, I would have wanted, if price would have done this, then I wouldn't be saying that. I wouldn't be looking for this type of play. But I would have wanted price to have made this low, and then go and make it high, and then make a lower low. Oops, sorry. So for price to make this low, then to make a high, then make a lower low, and then make a lower high, and then lower low. I would have wanted, that's what I was really looking for on Euro USD. Didn't get that last week, but the possibility of this playing out definitely exists. And this is what, if I were to play a move, this is what I would look for. But at the same time, if the price does come here, I would just have to basically look for candlestick patterns to tell me that, okay, yes, definitely you want to look to be selling at this area. So I'm going to set an alert up here as well at 1.22254. Add alert. Let me change this to sell box. Again, price right here, you could take a crack at it, but I would rather kind of see up here, because let me just actually hide this real quick, because all I'm kind of seeing right here is, first of all, hold on, let me change what this looks like, guys. I got used to this, so that's what I'm feeling. Wait, oh, that's for text. I was low-key wondering what happened. It's a little too high. I didn't even want a border low-key. Let me see. There we go. Alright. Let me save this real quick, because I don't know why it wasn't saved to begin with. I thought I had already done it. Okay. So all I really see here is price really coming back up here, coming to grab liquidity. And then my entry would be up at like 1.22255, like I mentioned, and then for price to then push down. So this is what I kind of want to see, but I know that the possibility of it happening is great, and if it does happen, then possibly I'd be probably in danger. So that's why I said that I'd want to wait for candlestick patterns before I would get into that, or even if I were to try to get in right here. You would want to wait for candlestick patterns or something to tell you, some type of confirmation to tell you that, oh yes, price is going to start to fall. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on Euro USD. 1 hour time frame calling for a buy, not a good sign. If you're trying to sell right now, definitely not a good sign. 4 hour time frame, the sell call was mentioned here, but price had already fell down. And again, like I mentioned, it already hit take profit. These are all bullish, so again, you want to be careful, but this is calling for a sell on the 4 hour time frame. Daily time frame is calling for a buy. It looks like it's not going to stop, especially with this wick that just happened. And actually, let me do something real quick, because I want to see if from this low right here, if that's what this is. Oops. Wrong place to look at. Way too far out. My bad. Yeah. The likelihood of this continuing to the upside and going to 1.32453, it exists. It definitely exists, but I'm not crazy over it. You know? So let's see what happens. Let's see what really happens. Delete this real quick. Alright, so 4 hour, like I mentioned. Daily time frame, very much bullish. Monthly time frame, very much bullish. Weekly time frame, very much bullish. It's going over to AUD USD. Now that I got over my main pairs out the way, let's go ahead and go over these. Head and shoulders that I drew out last week, looks like it's finally playing out, question mark. This is it's such a terrible pair. I'm gonna clear it off. Monthly time frame. Okay. Alrighty. I don't even know what to make of this monthly candle if it closes like this, because if it closes like this, then I'm just gonna be bearish. But just like with these other candles, it's just hard to trade AUD USD when it's been consolidating for a whole month. It's just really been consolidating for a whole month. So it's hard to trade something like that. But overall, I do see that it is not necessarily, I don't even like that zone, but it did come up to this zone right here and rejected off of it with one candle. I thought that this candle was going to be an attempt for price to fill that up, but when you go onto the weekly time frame, and like I've been talking about for like the past how many weeks now, if you take a fib from this high to this low, 71% fib, or 61.8 right here first, then 71% fib got hit and price rejected off of it. So I like the signs that there could be a possible sell, especially with last week's candle. Last week's candle, it looks way better. This looks better to me than AUD USD Euro USD for a potential sell for this, based off of this candle and the candle right next to it. But then when I go look at the daily candle, same thing. It doesn't look that terrible compared to what the Euro USD daily candle looks like. But if I were to have tried to get into anything, it would have been all the way up here. And I don't know if I would have been able to hold the trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or how many ever amount of days right here before it's dropped. And just like how I just deleted, I still see the same thing with, if I could find it. Wait, I really cannot see this. Is it? No, it's not. Where is head? There you go. And same thing. I still kind of see. Not even kinda. I do still see this head and shoulders right here. Oh, I drew this so terribly. So overall, I'm still very much bearish on AUD USD, and it's not showing. It's not like Euro USD that's not showing me any signs that it could possibly fall. Like I said, this looks more promising to me, and I can't believe I'm saying this. This looks more promising to me for a sell than what Euro USD is giving me right now. Although I do obviously the stop hunt that it did last week and then pushed down. So that being said, Euro USD, at this point, I would just have to wait for it to break out to the downside, retest, and then continuation type of thing. That's what I would have to wait for. But I'm still looking for this sell. Price is holding very much tightly in this minor zone on the lower time frames. Go on to the 4-hour time frame. See what we have here. I'm going to go ahead and hide these real quick though. And I'm going to leave this zone open. Bearish. I like that candle, but I don't like how this candle, the candle right next to it on the 4-hour, had more volume than the candle next to it. But hey, from this high to this low, price still has a long way to go. Yeah, why not? I mean, if price can come up to 0.77342, and then the 50 EMA lines up with it and rejects off of it, then maybe I would sell it, maybe. But it's a very big maybe, especially with how price did all of this, like boom, 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 boom. Just like, again, it was AUD's USD's just been consolidating for months now up here. So again, it's kind of just ugly looking, but I'm definitely bearish on AUD USD overall. Let me see what this is. Did AU break the neckline of the head and shoulders yet? Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think it has yet. So I need for it to, because look right here, it still came back to these recent lows. So I'm gonna need it to really break through that neckline. Daily time frame. So Friday, AUD USD just called for the sell. I don't know what I was looking at, but I was looking for the sell. Oh well. Overall, I was bearish on AUD USD last week regardless. Daily time frame called for the sell, but I would not play this on arbitrage personally. If I were to try to be like, oh, retest and sell right there, this isn't my type of setup. But I do like the confirmation for the sell. Oops, my bad. Let me go back here and see what Level Pro and Arbitrage Z look like. Okay, so I have no idea what level pro is doing. It's just flatlining right now because it's consolidating probably. And then we have the arbitrage Z, it's underground zero. So yeah, I'm definitely liking the bears on AUD USD. Sell on the 4 hour naturally. I'm pretty sure the 1 hour of them are bearish as well. Yeah, 1 hour is bearish. So again, I'm just bearish on AUD USD overall. Want to see how it plays out though. I can't just hop into it. All right, USHEF. I think the reason why I have this up here is because it's been the same thing this whole time. But let's go on to the monthly first. Fresh charts. Overall, USHEF very much bearish. Yeesh, man, that's crazy. So the chef has been gaining strength against the USD this whole time, basically. Anyways, bearish candle last month didn't really. It doesn't necessarily tell me that price is going to keep pushing to the downside because it didn't engulf this big Mariposa candle right here. If it would have engulfed this, then it would be like, yeah, I'm not really looking for sales. So I like how last month closed out, and then this candle how it's closing out as well. I love it. So I'm definitely still bullish on USHEF. And the same thing like with the DXY. Once price had broken through, let me really say right here. Once price had really broken through this structure, then I was like, okay, yes, I would like to see price. I would love to see price continue to the upside. This was my first warning saying that price was going to push. You have the evening star, push down. But again, right now, I really do want to see price push to the upside based off of my Fibonacci retracement. Got the push up. 71%. This is where if I was playing swings, which I'm looking to start playing very shortly, that I would be looking for buys. And so I like the candlesticks that I'm having on the weekly time frame. Bullish candle, but it's not a doji either. It's just I wouldn't trade off of that candle. Daily time frame, nothing too crazy either. Not a bearish candle to me at all, but I don't like the wick to the upside. I don't like the 4 hour, but again, same thing right here. It's just a Mariposa candle, but it's not an engulfing candle. So that's why I'm saying like all these are looking better than Euro USD to me. However, with USHEF, I do see. I'm gonna hide this real quick. And this is the place that you guys need to know. It's my swing entry area. However, I do see that from this high to this low, that price did come to the 78.6, and then the candle right after it did reject off of it. So I could see the possibility of price pushing downwards a little more, but realistically speaking, all I would really want to see is either A, for price to come. I don't even know if I want price to come that low. I don't think price will come this low. I would rather watch for, again, my general price is 0.89747. That's where I'd really look to get into any type of buys to push price to the upside. I think that if this retraces all the way down to the likes of 0.89432, then it's gonna just retrace completely and keep going. And then it's just gonna keep pushing to the downside. So if I can get this price, I might play this swing. Well, not play the swing. I'd play like maybe this swing. Yes, absolutely. But when I'm talking about, I might play the swing overall. This actually looks more like position than anything because it took how many days for price to get up here. It's more like a position trade. Yep, probably. I don't doubt that one bit. So let me see real quick. I need this back up here. All right, so let's go on over to arbitrage. 1 hour time frame called for the buy, And like Peyton said, if it hasn't already, it's gonna call for the buy. Yep. Daily time frame, it's getting there. It's not set up quite yet. It's probably gonna take a couple more days. So this is probably next week type of thing. Let me see. Oh, and these two aren't even. Yeah, it's not. Nothing's confirmed on the daily yet. But so far, the small time frames are all going bullish. So maybe that daily time frame is gonna be next week. It's go time. So overall, like I said, I am very much. I'm going to the 4 hour because that's what I'm gonna probably play off of. If I can get price to come down to 0.89747, I'm getting in. But overall, on the swing, let me just hide that fib because we know where I'm going in, where I'm getting in at. Overall, this is just a huge buy box. So anywhere in, wait, let me make it so that it's not disrupting price. Because that just makes things much more cleaner. Buy box. So anything in here regardless, I'm still looking for buys. But I just wanted more confirmation to tell me to get into a trade rather than me being in some drawdown for how many days? I would have been in drawdown for like at least 2 or 3 days, maybe even 4 days before getting into profit. The 4 hour RSI line. Yep, that 4 hour RSI line. If I can get price to come back down here, Frago. That's what my daughter calls it. Alright, so UChef, another one I'm going to be watching for. I like the setups. Alright, let's look at the VIX. As I mentioned, guys, last week I was saying, or yeah, let me actually go into the monthly time frame. Oh my goodness, on this VIX, this looks crazy. Extremely bearish from up here. Yeah, I'm just it's just funny seeing the US indices making me look like a fool well, not making me look like a fool because I'd be knowing what it's doing. Well, not knowing, but it just be playing games. Weekly time frame, this looks extremely bearish. Wouldn't try to buy wouldn't try to sell the US indices by any means because once this opens up tomorrow, then it's gonna be the close of the candle. And like I said, as soon as price leaves this zone, that's probably when price is gonna just keep falling. That wick, I should have known that the price was just gonna go and fill it up and then continue falling. So overall, I really don't have anything to say other than buy the US indices ? Because I mean, just look at. I had mentioned last week the breakout, retest, continuation, but let's just go ahead and remove all the drawings and go on to the monthly time frame. Just been going bullish, and the way how this looks like is gonna close, this looks like it's just gonna keep going higher. So again, buy. I wouldn't buy up here personally. Like weekly time frame. Like look at these past 2 weekly candles. So disrupting. So disruptive. Daily time frame. Price has just been playing against. When did I say it? I'm gonna really go back. Was it on Wednesday, last Sunday, or the Sunday before that, where I said when we look at what the 50 EMA has been doing with the S&P and them, like on the US indices, it just bounces off of it. It might fake out, but then it'll bounce back up. Bounces off of it, fake out, but then bounces back up. Fake out, but then bounces back up. So it's like, once price was down here, I was like, I'm skeptical of price push. As much as I would want to be me and say that, oh, well, what price could be definitely doing, it still could be from this high to this low. If I was still beating the trade, then I'd be in drawdown. But he's like, oh, you can still try to sell this, which you can, but I'm not here for it. Like, I'm really not. I'm gonna delete this fib because it just doesn't look right to me. I think this is just gonna keep going bullish. we do have this zone that price is rejecting off of. You know what this right here reminds me of? This reminds me of what happened before COVID. Let me actually see if like the difference and what this looks like and what happened before COVID. Because I remember what that kind of looked like on a right here, right? Okay, daily time frame. Okay, no, it was the other way around. So this was down lower than, and then okay, never mind. It doesn't look the same. I think I was thinking more of US 30. But anyways, again, I don't want to necessarily sell this where it's at, although it could reject off of this zone, and I definitely don't want to buy it because it's just really high. And if I were to play it any type of way, realistically speaking, it'd probably be this, where from this low to this high, price retraces down to 4192, and then I'll buy. If I were to play anything, that's probably what I would play. I don't want to play the sell. I really don't. The sell doesn't look good to me. This looks way better to me, honestly speaking. So if I get 4192, hey, I'll probably take the buy, honestly speaking. I gotta go with the flow, and the flow is definitely bullish. So that is on S&P. Same thing with the Nasdaq. I'm gonna go into the weekly time frame just to make y'all know that this is just bullish as well, extremely. Doesn't look like it wants to slow down. Weekly time frame. Same thing looking like, well, yeah, same thing looking like the S&P. Daily time frame, bullish, engulfing candle, breaking these lows. And again, I could definitely say, oh, possibility of price turning around right here. It does exist because right now it's at the 71% fib. I don't like how it looks. I'm not going to try to, no, I'm good. I'm not going to try to sell that. What I would probably end up having to do, honestly speaking, first of all, let me fix this zone I have. All I would probably play, and it's the same thing with, look at this right here. Doji candle, bullish, and no, I'm not going for it. If anything, I need that retracement, the continuation. That's all I could really say. And then it goes right back to the highs. I don't doubt that one single bit. Well, let me not say I don't doubt it one single bit, but this is what I'm definitely looking at for more. So, let's see what happens. I have my alert right here. Oh, I'm getting the box, that's why. I'm like, I'm not trying to grab the box. There we go. Alright, so that's for the Dow Jones. Did I set an alert for this? No, I did not. Okay, Nasdaq. Nasdaq probably looks the best to possibly not go bullish. Never mind, I take that back. Monthly time frame. Let's see what monthly looks like. Yeah, this looks like once it closes, it's closing today in a couple hours, or at the end of the 4 o'clock tomorrow it closes, right? And so unless it goes bearish, this is gonna keep going bullish. And I had even already did a fib that played out. I hate how this played out from this low to this high. Price came back and pushed to the upside. That's crazy. Again, this is just gonna keep going bullish in my opinion. And I wouldn't even try to play Nasdaq. Dang, whoever tried to sell this, price came back up, they tried to sell it again, they got wrecked and price came back down. But yeah, it's not for me. If I were to try to play this, then I would need from this low, and price would have to break these 50 EMAs, which I don't think it would, but it probably could. and catching price down over here. But again, I'm not even going to try to play Nasdaq, so yeah. Oh, let me go look through arbitrage on them real quick. I'm pretty sure everything's bullish. 4 hour on the Dow Jones is bullish. 1 hour on the Dow Jones is bullish. It's probably going to call a sell, but I'm not playing that sell. I'm looking for the buys. Same thing with S&P. It might be calling for the sells, but I'm not going to play the sells. I'm looking for the buys. You're a perma bear. You have to, because you can't buy at these highs. You personally, at least. And Nasdaq is buys. So if the 1 hour is calling for buys, what makes you guys think? Or I'm not pretty sure anybody would think that, but who would have played this? I wouldn't have. But yeah, this is what to call for a buy on the Nasdaq. Dow Jones, it never called for an exit, basically ever. Since November of last year, it's been still bullish. That's funny. S&P's giving some fake outs, or just giving you some entries on the bullish move. It just called for a buy right here. I'm definitely not looking for a retracement. So yeah, I can't really say anything other than I'm not trying to trade any of these. Let me put this down. Alright, so that's for the US indices. I don't like any sells on them, but they can sell. It's just if they do, then I'll take an L personally. Alright, let's go to Mr. Tacos. USD Mexican. Let's go to the tacos, man. Love me some tacos. Alright. USD Mexican, extremely bearish from when it was this high. The Mexican peso has been gaining strength. That's good for Mexico. Bad for the US dollar. It has came back though to this zone that it has used multiple times, and now it's still holding over it, and it's on the monthly 50 EMA as well. So that I'm still pretty bullish. I'm bullish on USD Mexican peso. It's just been very much consolidating. Look how many weeks it's been consolidating right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ever since price pushed up, then came back down. It's just been consolidating, man. And from the low to the high, it's just barely under my fib zone. So technically speaking, it's still not. For me, it's still not bearish. It's not bearish material. But I mean, I kind of see a head and shoulders here, except for price didn't necessarily come back up here to like 20.65715 on or after price made this drop. So overall, USD Mexican peso is very choppy right now. It's just doing a whole lot of sideways movement. I kind of again, it's probably going to be the same type of play with everything else with the USD. I kind of have to, well, first of all, on the daily, I would have to see some type of bullish engulfing, or not a bullish engulfing, but an impulsive move, a retracement, and then for a continuation on the daily. Or not on the daily, but actually, yeah, on the daily, because once I saw this right here, roll tracks or tweezer tops, whatever you want to call it, but once I saw that, I'm like, okay, price might push down a little more. I'm just going to be patient on USD Mexican. So I don't have anything really good to say about it right now. Daily time frame is trying to call for a buy, but it's just struggling. So that's something on USD Mexican you want to watch. The 4-hour time frame did call for a buy, but again, I'm not really interested in trading this right now. I want to get more confirmations on it, honestly. I have other things that I could trade rather than that. So that's for USD Mexican. Not really going to talk too much about it. Let's go on over to Mr. Goldilocks. Mr. Gold. I like how I call gold Goldilocks. Alright, so delete that. Or actually, I want to put it back up. Let's get rid of that real quick. So, I remember last week, was it last week that I tried to sell gold? Got into a sell like up here. Move stop loss to break even. The price took off. Glad I never tried to get back into a buy. Well, let's go on over to the monthly time frame. All right. We got a big bullish month on gold. Big bullish month. Volume isn't necessarily there, but it's a big bullish month on gold. Honestly speaking, let me just get rid of all this first of all. Honestly speaking, we could still see a possible bearish move, but I'm not gonna try to play it unless I see some better indications. Right now we are at a heavy supply zone. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Peyton, although it didn't go deep enough, so probably that's the reason why it wouldn't be. But yes, we are at a resistance, like a very hard resistance on a monthly time frame that price can definitely, from this high to this low, still retrace from. It still has that possibility to just retrace, or just not retrace, but continue to the downside. I'm not betting on it, but the volume from up here for this candles and the price pushing to the upside, not betting on it to push to the downside, but I gotta wait. All right, cool. Supply, awesome. So yeah, this is definitely a supply in area. I don't want to play the bulls on gold quite yet, especially, like, again, volume picked up right here. There isn't any volume over here, and price has been consolidating for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 days up here now. So I kind of still have to wait and see what gold is gonna do, but I'm not gonna try to play it yet. I'm gonna be very patient and gonna be just thorough with it, you know. I don't really care about drawing trend lines like this, but I mean, it could be applicable, I guess, question mark. Nah, I'm just gonna leave it. Oop, that can stay over there. But yeah, overall with gold, this is still definitely a possible area where price can sell at over here at the 1900s, but I'm going to be patient and, you know, just wait and see what gold does. I'm not really liking the sells, because if I were to have bought, my time to have buy on gold would have been right here. So from this high, from this low, where price took off to this high, I would have wanted this retracement, came to the 78.6, very close to the 50 EMA. Is probably what I would have tried to get in, and then push to the upside. So again, if I were to try to get in, my entry's already gone. But if I were to try to sell, especially with this high volume right here, I wouldn't even try to sell that. I think price is just gonna keep going. But if I were to try to sell, realistically speaking, no, it doesn't even look right to me. I guess it would be right here, right now. Yeah, if I were to try to sell, it'd probably have to be at this current price. But again, there's like absolutely zero volume going on right here. So this would probably be your only chance to sell at this point in time. And if it shows that possibility, then I mean, you could take it. I'm just showing a possibility, but it's not a trade I'm calling by any means. 103 pips, no thank you. I mean, well, it doesn't matter about the pips, it just matters about how much percentage you're risking. It really doesn't matter about pips whatsoever. So this is a possibility. How high the possibility is, I don't think it's a lot, but hey, a possibility nonetheless. I like this candlestick though. It looks like it's a shooting star, so if you can get some more confirmations, then absolutely take the sell and see what happens. Arbitrage 1 hour time frame is calling for the buys. 4 hour time frame, it wanted to call for the sells, but it gave a fake out. I was actually waiting for these sells. Daily time frame, very much bullish, and so everything else is bullish. So again, I would rather wait for some confirmations before I try to get in. All right, let's look at these cryptos. Wow, wow. Anyways, that is interesting. Hold on. I need to see what Ripple looks like real quick and if it really did. Okay, good. I thought that Ripple had made its move yet. I'm like, but I haven't seen it yet, or I haven't gotten an alert yet. All right. Anyways, monthly time frame. I've been wanting to talk about this for so long, so I'm gonna remove my drawings. Just let me just take a screenshot real quick. Do I not have Bandico open? Hold on. I don't. I need to take a screenshot real quick, guys. Hold on. And if you guys came into this analysis thinking I wasn't going to be long on here, then you were wrong. All right, let me take a picture because I still think that these targets are very much possible. Okay. Get rid of all that now. Monthly time frame. Very, very scary month on the monthly time frame when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm just gonna do something real quick and point out the different, how all the very bearish candles compared to this real quick. Let's see if I could do it fast. The 50% drop. Anything that's noticeable, like something like this, I'm gonna count it. Anything that's really noticeable. Right there. I'll get this candle right here. 31%, 57%. Yeah, why not with this right here? 45%. 44%. 47%. So these are just a couple examples, but you see how these drops do compare. This drop right here was definitely one that was, this was COVID. This was the COVID drop right here, that 57%. But everything else, you see 31%, 45%, 44, 47. See a lot of these other drops, and then this is 50% right here. So the possibility of price still increasing after this month, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I think the run that Bitcoin had was amazing and that it was one for the books. And I think that we should just be, I think a lot of people should start setting up to get start setting up and start like accumulating their own funds to try to get wait for another bull run. I'm not saying the bull run is done by any means necessary because I don't know that. I can't tell you that the bull run is done, but based off of what I'm seeing, especially 2 weeks bearish, and then the way how this weekly candle closed, this looks like it's just going to continue falling to me. Like, I like how it bounced off of the 50 EMA, absolutely, but based off of this candlestick, it just looks like it's just going to keep falling to me. But this is the same candlestick that happened right here, and then look what happened. Price pushed the upside. But the only difference between over here and over here is that these bearish candles were nothing compared to these. So, again, well, not again, but what I would say, this is what I suggested before, I think last week. What I would say is if, not saying that it is, but if Bitcoin or any of the other cryptocurrencies, they decide to make a move like this, where they go up to the likes of 50,000 or something like that, if you have them, take some profits. There's nothing wrong with taking profits, because once you book those profits, then if price continues going to the upside, then you'll still be making money because you still have some cryptocurrency stored up. But like I said, I'm not confident that the bull run is going to keep going. That's just me personally. It's just because I like looking at the market from both ends, and I understand, and I like picking parts up from both ends. The volume right here, intense volume, but that is not going to tell me that price is going to keep pushing to the upside. 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin. Payton would love to see something like this. Price push down, price push down, price push a little down lower, come up, consolidate a little bit, then push to the upside. I'm not against this because that's Wyckoff. I'm not against this at all, like at all. If that happens, and let's just say even that we get a possibility that price pushes to the upside, then comes back down, I'd probably say, hey, let's try it out for a margin buy right there and then. But again, I would want to see at the likes of the 51,000 area. If price gets up there, then I would suggest taking some type of profit so that you could just make sure that, or if you bought all the way at these highs, let's just say that if you bought at like 53,000, take partial losses or just take partial losses. And if you want to leave some money up here, sure. I mean, I wouldn't, but basically we need to see more accumulation and then a big break off. Yep, exactly. Basically, we would need to see price push down, then push up to 40,000 very fast. But again, I'm not really that confident in it. I'm just saying. Gonna go ahead and drop this over here. If anything, I'm more looking for this, and I think Peyton, you did the same thing last week on the higher time frames. You said that you wanted to see price push up and then come down, consolidate down here a little bit, then push down to like the 25,000, then push up. Is that what you wanted to see? Or something like that? I saw you draw it out. I forgot. You had circled. I'm not sure if you circled down here or not, or if it was just like back over here. I'm not 100% sure. If billions weren't buying at this price, I would be bearish. Yep. Same. I agree. So I gotta just have to be patient on Bitcoin personally. These aren't bad prices to buy them. I'm not gonna lie to you, because compared to what we've seen, but I wouldn't throw, like, let's say if you have, like, again, if you have, let's say that if you have $3,000 and this is the only position that you were to buy at, I would say don't put 3,000 here. Put like 1,500, not even 1,500. Put 1,000 here, because the possibility of prices coming back down to like 28,000, you could put another 1,000. If price comes down to 21,000, which, I mean, like I said, it's possible, then we can have another one. Peyton, do you see this? I'm just saying. Your boy Torre. Anyways, yeah, so Bitcoin, that's just my 2 cents on it. I do definitely still believe. I don't think, this is just my theory, I'm not 100% sure if price will really break lower past $20,000. But I remember one time I did mention that I don't think we'll ever see it again, and I think that I think I'm naive to say that, because who am I to say that, oh, we'll never see something like this, you know, when I don't even have any control of this market whatsoever. So the possibility of 21,000, 17,000, even 27, like just any of these 3 areas, they still are very much like levels that I'm looking at that I'm like, okay, yes, this is absolutely still possible for price to come down to. And if they do come down to those areas, look to buy them on exchanges. So let's go on to Ripple. Or actually, let me go on to the lower time frame and show you what I'm looking at on the 1 hour. So I don't think this is gonna play out, but from this low to this high, I do like how price came down to the 71% and rejected off of it and went bullish. But again, I don't think this is gonna play out, because currently on the even lower time frames, if you take it from this high to this low, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Price is doing the whole lot of the same thing right here. Whole lot of just rejecting off of here. Did some type of double top. I could see this possibly falling, but it's just, I'd rather wait for, if that Wyckoff is gonna happen, I'd rather wait for that to happen than try to get into any of those moves, really. Ripple, what was I saying on this? I'm going to take a picture and then I'll keep it pushing. Okay, 68 cents got hit. Or 70 cents, sorry. 70 cents got hit, but 55 cents is still a possibility, and I do still strongly believe that. Then erase, and let's go talk about it. So, monthly time frame. If I compare it to this one, this month was absolutely terrifying for Ripple, honestly. 74%? No wonder there's people that hate Ripple. Alright, so from this high to this low, 62% drop, right? That's pretty intense. That's a pretty intense drop, but that's not what price closed at. It's just, that's what the month had, like, consisted of, those losses, right? And so, bearish engulfing candle on a weekly. Not crazy over this weekly candle close, but it looks better than Bitcoin's. So that's some optimism to have, right? And same thing, if I draw this fib from the low to the high, then we can see that the 71% fib, that's what's been accomplished, and price is pushing to the upside. But I still think that 55 cents is a possibility, and even down to these lows of like 40 cents and 34 cents. If Bitcoin falls down to like the likes of 17K, there's no way I could say that Ripple won't probably come down to 40K. I mean, for like 40 cents or anything like that. But it is altcoin season, so hey, maybe we might see some type of something different this time around. Because again, I'm not saying that the bullish run is over, but I am saying that I'm not liking the possibilities of price to, or I don't like the idea of me trying to buy, like if price were to come back up here again, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy some more cryptocurrency. Hard to buy, like I said, it's down here, not up here. And still, I still say that this exists. If price does indeed come back up to like $1.40, $1.50 area, then I'd probably take some partial some profits from if you're holding some, and then let the markets play out. If price continues going higher, you'd make more money, right? So that's what I have on Ripple. It's from what I had mentioned on my weekly Forex and my from last week, and even from the crypto analysis that I did. I mean, if you bought from down here and you bought like at, did I say 86 cents? Yeah, it's 86 cents. You are in profit, but again, the possibility of prices dropping, they do exist though. I did notice this on the 1 hour time frame, that this same thing as with Bitcoin, from this low to these highs, price came to the 61% fib, pushed to the upside, but I'm not 100% sure if this is going to keep going bullish, but it is playing out. So that's just something that you want to watch and pay attention to. But again, I'm just leaving these cryptos alone for now. Litecoin came close. I'd mentioned the same thing, but again, going to the monthly time frame, I think one of my prices got hit. Let me see. Open low 117.58. Yep. So both of those targets got hit that I had mentioned. I think those were the targets. Weekly time frame. And to be quite honest with you guys, I wasn't able to get into most of these, or any of these. To be quite honest with you guys, I'm just saying. You guys want to be real out here, but I do definitely again think that these are good prices to buy at, even if price pushes down lower. These are amazing prices to purchase these cryptos. But again, price pushing to the upside, I do see the possibility of price coming to 329.81. If it does, and you have some Litecoin, maybe look to take some profits there and let the rest ride out. Because any profits that you're in right now, they're unrealized profits, and they're only going to be realized profits once you take them out of the market. So if we do see the possibility of price coming up to 329.81, take your profits, let the rest of the things play out, and if the cryptos drop, look to buy some more later. I'm not saying if they drop to 84 cents, negative $84, or any of those negative items, definitely not. But yeah, Ripple, 4-hour time frame, or 1-hour time frame. I mean, like I mentioned, guys, or right here, what I had mentioned, I would wanted to see that retracement and the price push to the upside to get something in on MT4, or just margin trading wise. Still kind of not crazy over the buys though. But like I said, if price does, then up over here at this 329 area is where I would look to be like, okay, I'm going to take some profits so that I have realized profits and let everything else play out. And same thing is for Ripple. And don't worry, I'll get in onto arbitrage with all the cryptos. I just want to do my technical analysis on the cryptos first before I get onto arbitrage, because I felt like that question was coming. Ethereum, still the possibility of 1349 and 1024 is there. This is where I had mentioned to start dollar cost averaging on Ethereum, and it's, again, that's not a bad price, right? But the possibility of prices still dropping definitely exists. Let me go ahead and screenshot this. All right, close all of that. A 4-hour time frame. Same thing with Bitcoin that I had mentioned, from this low to this high. Price almost came down to the 61.8, but didn't necessarily. But I still think that this is going to keep falling. So it's like, why would you even try that? It's more like a counter trend trade, if anything. And likewise, if Ethereum does decide to push to the upside, then 3607 would be an area of interest where I think that price, if it holds here and starts to show some type of rejections, then price would push to the downside. I don't know if it's going to come to $700 in them, but that's a possibility nonetheless. I'm keeping that up there. Yeah, guys, this is just really hard. It's just really tough for me to want to be optimistic and say buy any of these cryptos, because you could have bought right here and you would be in profits if you bought down here at the 78.6, but that's not what I would be looking for. I'm looking like from down here. Not even. Hold on. Where's the weekly? Like over here, price came to the 61.8 kind of ish. So hey, maybe that's what's gonna be but I don't like it. I don't like the cryptos to play the margin trading, only for like any type of possible long-term investments. That's what I'm looking at them for right now. All right, Gbp USD. Let me just remove drawings. Monthly time frame. Let me get some water real quick. Okay. Gbp USD, monthly time frame, extremely bullish candle. The volume isn't necessarily there with it. This is where the volume was, of course, COVID. And prices came back up to the supply zone. This is definitely a supply zone. I'm going to stretch it all the way over here. The regular. Okay, so with this being said, I want to see what price is going to do here, because again, all I really do feel like is the possibility of price coming up and snatching this. Price doing a stop plant, coming down, retesting, then continuing to the downside. That's what I still think could possibly happen with GU, but the weekly time frame, it looks like it's slowing down. The monthly candle is what really has me tripping, but the weekly looks like it's slowing down. So there could be a possibility. Not crazy over it. The daily time frame looks like it still wants to go bullish to me. So with GU, again, I just think that price still has a lot more room to go to the upside. Especially, like, same thing, it's just suspect to me for me to try to play this. And I don't like how this played out once prices came to these fibs. Once price came to the 61.8, it's just like with Euro USD and the DXY. I'm not comfortable trying to look for any type of sales on this, so I would have to wait for price to really break through this like small structure. Well, not small, but it's a minor zone. I would have to wait for price to break through this structure right here, and even possibly down below these, because what could still happen, price just come down here and then continue to the upside. So I'm just, yeah, GU is just way too bullish for me to say that it's bearish. Way too bullish for me. And I forgot to do the cryptocurrencies with arbitrage. I apologize. I'm surprised no one told me. And after I was talking all that mess, right? So daily time frame. Oh, hold on, let me go on to the monthly. Monthly time frame, or monthly on arbitrage, it doesn't even have enough data to give you anything accurately on the monthly. So weekly time frame, price is right under that RSI line. Got to be really careful with that though. Got to be really careful with this price being under this RSI line, because that could mean a lot of things. But I just don't like the way how this wick really rejected the upper danger zone and also the RSI line. Daily time frame, very much bearish. Can't really say much about that. 4-hour time frame, like I mentioned during the weekend, I was saying that it's called the sells. I'm not looking for buys right now. And if price holds here, this could be an inverted head and shoulders. Who knows? Although price never really came up to these highs, but this could be an inverted head and shoulders. But I don't care for it. 1-hour time frame, it did call for a buy, but again, I'm not really here for it. Ripple, I'm gonna tell you guys the exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but this doesn't have enough data to even give you anything on the monthly. Weekly time frame, it's still calling for buys, and the RSI line is all the way down here, so we could still possibly see buys here, but I wouldn't play it. Daily time frame called for the sell. Retracement is just the same thing like I mentioned with technical analysis. If price comes up to like $1.30, $1.30, $1.40, then I might look for another push to the downside. 4-hour time frame, price called for that sell, rejecting off of that RSI line. Unless Ripple really goes bullish, this thing, and especially look right here, this looks like it's gonna push to the downside. So that's for Ripple. And 1-hour time frame, this might just be a stop and price pushing to the downside, but who really knows? What I was saying that I was thinking might happen with Ripple is from these highs to the low, price is rejecting off of the 61.8 to continue to the downside. So hey, who knows? Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Litecoin, weekly time frame, price did close under the RSI line, and it is under the lower upper danger zone. So that's not a good sign for me to start trying to buy. Daily time frame as well, very much bearish. Not trying to buy it. 4-hour time frame, called for the sell, almost retested the RSI line. It basically kind of did. Again, I'm just bearish on the cryptos, guys. Oh, in the 1-hour time frame, it might reject here, but I wouldn't try to buy it. No cap. So that's for Litecoin. Ethereum, same thing. Weekly time frame, very much bullish, not even close to the RSI line. Daily time frame, very bearish. Man, 4-hour time frame, bearish. Looks like it's gonna keep falling. Ripple is probably the only one that is like trying to outperform, but then it's probably going to end up going to the red very shortly. That's what it looks like to me, honestly. This just looks like it was trying to go bullish, but now it's just going to end up falling with everybody else. So we'll see how that plays out. GU, 1 hour time frame, arbitrage calling for a sell, but I'm not going to play that really, because 4 hour time frame is bullish and the daily time frame is bullish. So I'm not going to go and just try to play the 1 hour. Let's go on over to GA finally, and let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. So GA, last week I was saying that I wanted to see price push to the upside, and so I was, and it's kind of the same thing that I still want to see, price just pushing to the upside. Nothing's really changed for me. I want to see just slither on up, reject, continuation. Nothing's really changed on me on this end. Monthly time frame, just so you guys can see it, very much bullish engulfing candle. So if this can continue going up, that'd be great. GA, very much bullish on everything on arbitrage. If I were to try to get it into a buy, I would have wanted this to happen, but it didn't. So yeah, there's nothing really to look at on GA except that it's bullish. Like, what else can I tell you? GJ, same thing, guys. It's just bullish. Don't try to sell them because they're at a monthly zone. Look at the monthly candlestick. This is not something that you want to go up and sell up against. Because again, all I really see is price lingering up here for price to go snatch up and then drop. So GBPs, regardless, I think all of them, even Euro GBP, it'd be wise to leave them alone for now. Let me see what I have for Euro GBP right here. Did I take this sell? Oh yes, I did take this sell. I sent this out to private groups, and this was an L because, man, this was just an L. Same thing. GBPs, I would just leave them alone personally for now because I don't have the slightest clue as to if they're gonna start reversing or not. The way how this looks, it looks like it's just gonna keep falling. So that's for what I have to say about the GBPs right now. Just leave them alone, honestly. I'm not gonna touch them a little until I see something better, because this just looks like to me is gonna keep falling. After all that, this just looks like it's gonna keep falling for reals. So there it is there. Is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at? I've been on here for a minute, like an hour and 20, I think, something like that. So I'm getting kind of tired. But if anybody has any other pairs, I am more than happy to look at those before I get off. Nothing? All right. Let me go ahead and take a look at Euro USD real quick. What it's doing. Yeah, this DSY might be dropping to the downside, y'all. Damn. AJ, sounds good. iPhone, whoever that is. Okay. So I did an analysis on this, I don't know when. Price was bullish, broke out for this trend line. Retesting, this looks like it's probably going to keep going bullish. This is extremely bullish. It's kind of hard for me to try to sell it, but it's kind of the same thing with Aud USD. It's just been consolidating for a couple months now. Using this zone as a resistance. Don't like the candlesticks necessarily to try to trade anything. Daily time frame, bullish from this high to this low. It rejected off of the 61.8%, so this looks like it could possibly keep pushing to the downside. That's a good thing. I like that wick right here, no lie, the retracement. But for now, it's it's too bullish for me to say that it's bearish, you know? But I do like the signs that it's pointing to say that it's possibly going to sell. I do like the signs. I don't know why I deleted that fib. But I would just personally say to stay away from it for now because it's just in no man's land. And if I were to try to trade it, then I would have to wait for it to either break out to the downside to retrace, then continue. To continue on lower. Or if I were looking for buys, which I'm not, which again, it's bullish, so you kind of would want to do that for price to come down to like 84.300 and then push the upside. But again, I would be more bearish on this than bullish, only because of where it's at on the higher time frames on this zone, where you know it's just been respecting for the past month now, or for the past how many months it's been holding up here. So it's like maybe it's possibly time for it to skedaddle and turn around. So I'm more bearish on AUD/JPY than bullish, but it's all depending on what the AUD is going to do. So I hope that was helpful. Because it's not necessarily a setup, but it's just my idea. Alright, well, if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and head off. So with that being said, let's make some money all this week. Be careful in the markets. And thank you for attending. Hope you all have a good night. Later.